So what is up guys, Nick here helping you to master your technology. Now I've had this phone for that entire time since it has launched. In this episode I'm going to share with you my 3 months later experience. Was it worth the price? And if you're considering a Galaxy S21 Ultra at this point, should you consider picking this up or should you consider waiting until it comes down further? Okay, so discussing the price on this phone right now, if you do pick it up right now on Amazon, you'll see in some cases it's still $11.99, but in some cases it's even cheaper. You can still find this thing, you know, around $8.99. Some areas I found it for in the $9s, so it has come down a couple $100s in certain places. However, if you go to, you know, Best Buy or something, you're still going to pay the full price. If you go to Samsung.com, it's still the full retail price right now, so it hasn't come down much there. However, the trade-in values on Samsung.com are still pretty high, so if you do pick this one up and you do a trade-in, you get an instant trade-in. You do have to send the device or they will charge you, but at least you're getting some pretty high trade-in value. Overall, I would say the price hasn't come down too much just yet, but if you look for this on the used market, you should find it quite a bit cheaper. Okay, so 3 months later with the body. Now this thing weighs 227 grams. We talked about that already. However, I just gotta tell you the main thing, because we're comparing this to the iPhone 12, the S21 series this year, this one just felt more comfortable to hold, mostly because of its more narrow and tall, you know, kind of stature. It's just easy to hold in the hand. Now, is it easy to one hand things? No, not really, but there is a one-handed mode on this phone. You could just bring it down like that, so it is easy to get things done, even though, you know, you can't reach all the way to the top. One UI brings the controls way down here. You can change the brightness really easy, and the fingerprint is in the right location here. So I will say 3 months later, I'm pretty happy with the overall body. I also really love 3 months later how clean this phone is staying because of this texture on the back. And one thing that Samsung doesn't get a lot of credit for, but is how they made the camera area just very similar to this texture right here. This area around a lot of phones is glass, and it will get super smudgy and super dirty. This was a great choice, and I hope Samsung stays this way. And then on the sides of this body, it is like a aluminum build here, but definitely feels very high quality. So very happy with the body. I love the Phantom Black. I think over 3 months, it's one of my favorite phones on the market in terms of the look. It's just classy, it's businessy, it's just a strong overall design. However, some people could argue that maybe the 12 Pro Max has a more of a unique design with its squared edges. It's a little bit conservative, but here with the S21 Ultra, just love its overall look. It still feels the price I paid for it. Now, when it comes to the actual screen on this phone, I just absolutely love this screen. Now, let me tell you why. First of all, obviously you have very minimal bezel around the entire body. It's 6.8 inches, so it's a massive display here. However, a lot of these things I'm going to talk about apply to the other S21 line as well. It gets very bright. For an Android phone, this is one of the brightest you're going to get out there. In addition, if you go ahead and you do adaptive brightness, it will get brighter in sunlight than pretty much any phone I've tested. So the peak brightness on this thing is crazy high at 1500 nits. Not only that, but Samsung does have 120 hertz on here, but what I've noticed is that, you know, even if we go into the WQHD mode, I'm still able to get good battery. I've noticed this over my past 3 months. It doesn't matter if I'm a full HD plus or WQHD plus, I can get through a day easily. In addition, I never really went to the standard mode because there's no real point to go back to a laggier experience. And then what I do really appreciate about this is this vivid and natural mode. Now, when I get tired of the popping colors, I go back to natural, and I just leave it in natural all day. Now, some people always gonna want them saturated Samsung look, so I go over here back to display, and then I just put it back in vivid, and you could tweak it to be a little bit more warm. Now, Samsung doesn't have the most tweaking of the display anymore. They used to have more features in here on the Super AMOLED panels, but on this dynamic AMOLED, you don't really need it. You just need vivid and natural, and it does very well. Text is super sharp, video looks super amazing, and everything has stayed buttery smooth on here. This is not the Samsung of yesteryear. The Samsung experience on here is super smooth each and every day. All right guys, so software, what do I love about this phone 3 months later? And I gotta say, this feature right here, it's not really S21 Ultra. Pretty much all Samsung devices have this now, but it works smoother on this phone than a lot of them. The split screen modes and the app pairing is fantastic. Anytime I want to do something like use the browser and read an article at the same time, I don't usually do this often, but if I'm typing a note while watching a video, I do that quite a bit. And they brought the ability back a while back to go ahead and flip between these Really do love this. It takes great advantage of the screen. Second, I love how they brought the S Pen. Look how large this S Pen is comparatively to the Galaxy Note series. Now, if I go ahead and punch in this button right here, you'll see we have all the similar features: create note, view note. It's very easy to write on this phone comparatively to the Galaxy Note's smaller. Comparing S Pen, it's very easy. It just feels like a much larger experience on this phone, so loving the S Pen compatibility with this software. In addition, I do love the fact that everything in One UI kind of brings it down, and that it's kind of easy to use this software with one hand. Now, I also do appreciate the eye comfort shield that came with the Galaxy S21 Ultra. It makes the screen a lot less, straining on the eyes at nighttime, and just all these extra features, just really enjoy them because sometimes you need them. You don't always need them, but sometimes you do. Not only that, I'm liking how Samsung is tightly integrating the watch experience with the the Samsung ecosystem. In addition to that, it's not only the watch experience, but it's also the Samsung Health with EKG. You have this right here. Go here and you go to theme store. There's a whole Galaxy store. In addition, they have tablets that kind of match with this. In addition to Galaxy Buds, it's a very tight ecosystem of products, even though it's still running Android. So I gotta say, this software also getting a lot of update support. For 4 years you should be updated. So if you buy this now, I'm sure you're gonna want a different phone within 4 years, and getting software updates pretty regularly on here as well, once per month or so. And performance, I've been using this thing really hardcore, trying to slow it down, and you can't do it. The Snapdragon 888 on here, the 12 gigs of RAM, 120 hertz, no slowdown ever in sight. This thing performs like a boss each and every day. I've actually never had this phone lag once. No apps have ever crashed really on me at all on this phone. It's never rebooted itself in my entire 3+ months of using it. So really strong. If you want the strongest Android performance, look at the S21 Ultra. This is going to be the one. And I know just swiping through these screens don't mean much, but definitely if you checked out my speed tests already, you would have seen this thing is an absolute monster in the performance area. So storage. Now I've already used 45% of my storage, so at this rate I'm probably going to be fully full here. I'm going to have to get some stuff off within 6 months or so. However, 128 gig starting is strong. However, I think they could have started at this price. They could have started at 256 gig, considering the price of the S21 Ultra. No more expandable memory. I kind of miss this. Definitely do. I wish it still had expandable memory. Hopefully they bring it back on, at least on the Ultra model, because people that buy this phone are more of a power user. They want extra storage. They want extra everything. So hopefully Samsung, if you're watching this video, bring back the SD card for the micro SD card for the top level phone, just the Ultra model. I think most people will actually use that. Okay, so where do we stand on the battery life with this phone? Well, I gotta say it's good, but it definitely doesn't overly impress me for a 5,000 milliamp hour battery. What do I mean by that? Well, I mean that, this phone, if I'm using it, I have to charge it every day. You would think 5,000 milliamp hour battery, this phone is gonna be just 2 days, 3 days. It can do that if you're like not using it at all. But if you're using this phone throughout the day, this is a day phone. Even with 5,000 milliamp, look at what the kind of display this thing is pushing right here. This is a 1-day phone if you're using it hardcore. So yeah, not overly impressed. I wish it would be a little bit better, but you can use power saving modes. You can definitely get pretty fast charging on here if you put this on a higher watt charger. So overall, not overly impressed, but not underwhelmed either. It's fine. Like if you get this phone, you're gonna use it throughout the day, which you probably definitely will at this size. You're not buying a phone like this just to leave it in your pocket and never use it. You're gonna get 1 full day on heavy use, which is good enough for me. Thumbs up on the battery. Okay, so when discussing the camera after 3 months, there's actually other manufacturers that are trying to compete with the system here, because Samsung knocked it out of the park with all this versatility on the camera. We've already covered it in my review and stuff and showed samples and things like that, but look at the versatility: 4x, 10x, 30x, 100x. 10x is optical though here. You do have the ability to go ahead and change out those things, like those aspect ratios. And look at all these modes here, almost anything you could think of. You got some food, go ahead and turn on the food mode. It's nighttime, turn on the night mode. You need some pro stuff, pro video. We don't need no extra apps for this on the Samsung phone. You want to hit the director's view and do some dual angle video. I've done video on the channel with this already. Pretty freaking amazing right here. So you can set up those features and drop them down here as well. And that front facing camera is not playing around either. This thing is at 40 megapixels, sharper than what I've seen on the iPhone. However, I will say that some people are not going to prefer its overall look when the final results come. But here's what I was super impressed by the other day. Take a look at this. I took this like a week ago. 100x zoom. Yeah, that's what you're gonna get on a phone like this. So when you're wondering about the price, you're paying for a camera that you would need lenses that are this freaking long to hit on a regular camera. It probably won't even fit in the frame to get a picture like this. So this periscope camera, pretty freaking amazing. 100x, and not only that, it has 8K video that also turns out very well. And for some other photos, here's some night stuff. It can really brighten up at nighttime due to its aperture. Definitely very good. In pretty much every scenario that you would want to use this phone for, you're going to get the result that you're looking for, and the focus is far improved over the focus that you see on the last version. So you're paying for a top dog phone, and let's just put it this way, 3 months later I've been getting nothing but top dog shots on this one. If you get this one, you will get that too. And the audio is also extremely loud. Very nice setup here, fun to use. It's so loud I don't even want to disturb the neighbors right now. Especially at this price point, you have a lot of creative options. The ability to go ultra wide, you can go up to 10x. Also, if you go here and you go to Dolby Atmos, you can tweak this audio to be however you want it. Now, we don't have no headphone jack on this phone, but man, is the audio ridiculous loud on this phone. 20x, I mean, you just get further completing the package of the Galaxy S21 Ultra. And so yeah, using the fingerprint sensor on here has been great as well. I also use the face unlock on this phone because it's just very simple to use. You kind of can set it up where it just goes right into the phone itself. And just overall, the ecosystem advantage of this S21 Ultra with the watch right here. You know, Samsung Health really tightly combines with the Galaxy Watch experience. So you can track your sleep very good on here. This was my sleep yesterday, 7 hours, 50 minutes. I'm pretty happy with that. You can see this stuff weekly. You can see your stress, blood oxygen, ECG. It's just a tightly knit system with the watch experience as well. So if you want an Android phone with a great watch experience, I think Samsung is kind of where it's at. And if they go to the Wear OS for the next system and they keep kind of the Galaxy Watch system here, but they also switch to Wear OS at the same time, it's going to get even better likely. Also have a much better phone experience with 5G performance that's top of the game. So after 3 months, I paid like $1,000 for this. I could tell you it's worth every penny. So wrapping things up, if you have the S21 Ultra, please consider sharing your experience down below in the comment section of this video. It would be really helpful if you leave a thumbs up as well. It lets other people find this channel and this content. And thank you very much for watching. Nick here. I will catch you all in the next episode. And if you have content ideas you want to see with the Galaxy S21 Ultra that I forgot to cover, because I've covered this quite a few times but not too much, let me know down below and I'll consider putting those on schedule. Be sure to have a great day. Nick here, and peace.